Is she over her last relationship or situationship? Is she over her last relationship or situationship? Are you a rebound? You have to ask yourself that. You have to ask yourself that question. Let me tell you guys something. Whenever a woman, more than likely, when a woman gives you the time of day, some guy somewhere messed up. So whenever you get some cat, whenever you go to Pound Town with a woman, some guy either kicked her to the curb, she left some simp, some guy somewhere messed up, and she's opening her options now. Some guy ain't giving her a commitment, whatever. But women are rarely out here just celibate and free with no ties to nobody. There's always, when you meet a woman, there's more than likely she has ties to some guy somewhere. Now they're gonna see this and be like, "Oh, I'm not in a relationship." I ain't talking about in a relationship. Don't try to pull the wool over my eyes. There's a maintenance man. There's a player ass dude who ain't committing. Somebody somewhere. There's an ex-boyfriend stalking. There's a baby daddy. There's a guy who you kicked to the curb. There's a guy who kicked you to the curb that you want back. There's always some guy somewhere, some guy somewhere. And what happens is a lot of the times guys get in relationships. And when they get into these relationships, they invest everything, they go all out, they wipe the chick up in 3 months, and then 5, 6 months later, the girl start bitching at them and start becoming, like unbearable to deal with, hard to deal with. She start becoming a headache, and she starts sabotaging the relationship, and to the point that it's over. What happened was she's going back to the old dude, and a lot of the times they won't even do that. They'll just ghost your ass and hit your wait. You wake up one day and then you get a long ass text message say, "Hey, I need to work on myself. I need to find myself. This is what happened. The ex hit her back, or she ran into the ex at a party or at the club or at the grocery store. He said, I miss you. I miss what we had, and it's over for your ass," right? Before you get into a relationship with a woman, you have to make sure she is over everybody. You have to. If you don't, this is going to be you. This is probably my main, out of all the emails that I get, out of all the DMs I get, this accounts for 50 to 60. It's starting to change now, but right now it's account to probably 50 to 60% of the emails that I get. When guys overinvesting too soon and a woman is not over the last guy. You see what I'm saying? And the girl leave them in 5, 6 months, and they're trying to figure out what happened. Or the girl's all of a sudden becomes a headache and bitchy, and she's sabotaging the relationship. And guys are trying to figure out what's going on. What's going on is she's not over the last situation. You see what I'm saying? You cannot just be jumping into relationships. A lot of them will get with you, like I said, because they're vulnerable and they need somebody to fill that fucking void. And what does that leave you? Stuck. Make sure she's over that last situation, especially today's day and age. When you meet a woman, there's some guy somewhere in the background. She may not be with him right now, but there's an emotional attachment. And when you're on these dates, a lot of y'all ask women, "Oh, are you single?" And they'll tell you, yeah. They ain't lying. Y'all be like, "Oh, they lying." They ain't lying. In their mind, they ain't lying. What you got to ask is, do you have emotional ties to somebody? When you meet a woman, there's some emotional ties to some guy somewhere. I'm telling you, 90 to 95% of the time there is. Very rarely will you meet a woman who's just out here not dealing with nobody, and she's fresh, she's healed, she's clean, and she's just ready. That's rare. That's very rare. So you have to make sure you're doing the necessary things to remove the imprint from them, and you implement your game. You indoctrinating her with your style and with your game, and you getting her to jump on your ship. And when you do this for a while consistently, that dude won't fucking matter no more. But there's a process and there's a way to do this. It's not just gonna happen. You have to kick this off. You have to get her to the point to where that imprint ain't there no more.